There is a moment many people know very well, but almost never talk about. You are in the middle of your day. You stop for a second. You look around and think, how did I get here? When did my life start feeling like this? You are doing things. You are busy. You are replying. You are surviving. But deep inside, you feel a kind of distance from your own life, as if you are watching a movie where the main character is you, but you did not write the script. That is what today's video is about. Living on autopilot. Not broken, not destroyed, just going through the motions. Today, we are going to look at this autopilot, understand why it appears, see the danger of staying there forever, and, most important, talk about how to slowly take back the controls. Not in a dramatic Hollywood way, in a quiet, realistic, human way. Let us begin with something very important. Autopilot is not your enemy. Autopilot is your brain trying to protect you. Your brain has limited energy. If you had to think consciously about every small action you do in a day, walking, brushing your teeth, writing your name, using your phone, you would be exhausted by 9 in the morning. So your brain loves habits. It loves routines. It loves patterns. It says, let me handle these repetitive tasks for you. You go think about other things. This is useful. Imagine learning to drive a car. At the beginning, you think about everything. The pedals, the mirrors, the signals, the cars around you. You are tense, you sweat. After some time, your brain learns. And suddenly, you arrive at home and realize you remember almost nothing about the road. Autopilot is working. So the problem is not that autopilot exists. The problem is when autopilot starts to control not just your actions, but your life. When your days become a loop you did not choose anymore. You wake up, you check your phone, you rush, you work or study, you scroll, you eat something, you distract yourself, you sleep, repeat. Weeks pass, months pass, sometimes years. Inside, you feel a quiet sentence. This is not really the life I wanted, but I do not know how to change it, and I am too tired to think about it. This is how a lot of people live. Not because they are weak, but because modern life is designed to keep you busy, distracted, and slightly numb. Social media, notifications, endless content, constant pressure to respond. All of this feeds the autopilot. So the first step is not to blame yourself. It is to notice. Let us look at some signs that you might be living more on autopilot than you think. You often do not remember parts of your day. You arrive home and everything feels like a blur. You feel tired, but empty. Not tired after doing something meaningful, more like tired from carrying a heavy fog. You repeat the same routines every day, even the ones you do not like, but you feel you have no time or no energy to question them. You escape into screens whenever you have a free moment. Silence feels uncomfortable. Being alone with your thoughts is almost scary. You often say, someday I will change this. Someday I will start that. Someday I will leave this situation. But someday never has a date. If you recognize yourself in some of these, that does not mean your life is a disaster. It means the autopilot is stronger than it needs to be. Now the good news is this. You do not need to destroy your life to wake up. You do not need to quit everything, move to the mountains, and become a different person overnight. You can begin with much smaller moves. I want to give you a gentle framework to start turning off the parts of autopilot that are hurting you. and turning on a little more of your conscious self. Think of 3 movements. Notice, interrupt, recreate. First movement. Notice. You cannot change what you do not see. So for a few days, your only job is to notice your automatic behaviors. You do not judge. You observe. You can ask, when do I feel most like a robot during my day? Is it in the morning, grabbing the phone before you even sit up? Is it at work, saying yes to everything without thinking? Is it at night, opening social media without any plan and staying there until you feel empty? Take a small notebook or use your phone and write tiny notes. Without thinking, I opened Instagram 3 times in 20 minutes. Without thinking, I said yes to a favor I did not want to do. Without thinking, I ate snacks while I was not hungry. These notes are not to attack yourself. They are to show you where autopilot is loudest. You might be surprised. You may notice that a lot of your day is made of tiny choices you did not really choose. Second movement. Interrupt. Once you start to see the automatic patterns, your next step is not to change everything. It is simply to create small pauses inside those patterns. Think of these pauses like mini breaks in the movie where you can ask, do I really want to continue this scene right now? For example, you notice you always grab your phone as soon as you wake up. Tomorrow morning, you can try this. When you open your eyes, your hand will naturally move towards the phone. You let your hand hover for a second and you ask yourself, do I want my first moment of the day to belong to my phone or to me? Maybe you still choose the phone, but maybe you decide to sit up, breathe slowly for 30 seconds, and only then touch the screen. That small interruption brings a little consciousness into the habit. Another example. You notice that every evening you say, I am just going to check for 5 minutes, and then you scroll for an hour. Next time, before you open the app, you can ask, what do I want from this visit? Do I want to learn something? To relax for 15 minutes? To escape? How will I feel after 30 minutes of this? You can even set a timer so there's a clear signal that says, time is up. You can choose again. Interruptions do not need to be heroic. They just need to be intentional. A breath before answering. A pause before saying yes. A moment before eating. These mini pauses break the hypnotic rhythm of autopilot and give your deeper self a chance to say something. Third movement. Recreate. Noticing and interrupting are powerful, but they are not enough. You also need to start recreating parts of your day on purpose. Think of your day like a house that was furnished by other people. Some furniture is useful, some is ugly, some is blocking the light. You do not have to burn the house. You can start by moving one chair, opening one window, bringing one plant. In practical terms, recreating your day means choosing 1 or 2 small spaces in your routine and giving them a new meaning. Let us start with one of the most powerful, your mornings. You do not need a millionaire morning routine, but ask yourself, what is the first thing I want to give my attention to every day? If it is not your phone, what could it be? Maybe you spend 2 minutes stretching your body. Maybe you drink water slowly without a screen. Maybe you write 3 lines about how you feel, in your own language or in English. I feel tired today, but I want to be gentle with myself. These tiny actions send a quiet message. My life belongs to me a little more than yesterday. Another place to recreate is your evening. The time before sleep is often the most autopilot controlled. We are tired, so we let the screen drive the car. You can experiment with a small evening ritual that is different. 5 minutes without screens before bed. You can sit, breathe, and ask, what did I actually live today? Was I awake for any moment? Did anything small make me feel alive? You might remember a laugh with a friend, the smell of coffee, a moment of calm walking outside. Collecting these moments helps your brain see your day as more than just tasks and notifications. You are teaching yourself to notice life again. Maybe you are thinking, all of this sounds nice, but my life is heavy. I have responsibilities. I cannot just wake up and change everything. And you are right. You have limits. We all do. But waking up from autopilot is not about destroying your responsibilities. It is about remembering that inside those responsibilities, you still exist. You still have a voice, preferences, dreams, values. Let us talk about values for a moment. Values are the things that deep inside you consider important. Connection, growth, kindness, freedom, family, learning. When you live on autopilot for too long, you stop asking, does my daily life respect my values? You just do what appears in front of you. One powerful exercise is to pick 3 values that are important to you and then ask, how present are these values in my normal day? For example, if one of your values is growth, you can ask, in the last week, what did I do to grow? Even a little bit. Maybe you watched a useful video, read something, practiced English, tried a new skill. If the answer is almost nothing, that is not a reason to hate yourself. It is an invitation to bring a little growth back into your day. 10 minutes of learning. That is already a crack in the wall of autopilot. If another value is connection, you can ask, am I really connecting with people or just exchanging messages on screens? Maybe you decide to have one deeper conversation this week. Ask someone how they really are. Share something more honest. Small moves, but with big meaning. Over time, these new behaviors create a different feeling about your own life. You begin to feel less like a passenger, more like a participant. Now, there is a question that often appears. What if I wake up from autopilot and realize I do not like my life? This fear keeps many people asleep on purpose. Because if you stay numb, you do not have to feel the discomfort of seeing clearly. But here's the paradox. When you avoid that pain, you also avoid the power to change anything. So yes, waking up a little can hurt. You may see that a relationship is empty, that a job is slowly killing your spirit, that your habits are destroying your body. You may feel a wave of sadness or anger, but in that moment, you are alive. You are touching reality with open eyes. From there, change becomes possible. Not instant, not easy, but possible. You do not need to fix everything in one move. You can choose one area where your autopilot is doing the most damage and ask, what is one small step I can take this month to move things 1 degree in a better direction? 1 degree seems small, but if you continue for a year, 5 years, 10 years, you end up in a completely different place. To finish, let us imagine 2 versions of you for the next 12 months. Version 1. You stay on autopilot. You wake up with your phone. Your days feel like copies. You react to everything. Sometimes you laugh, Sometimes you enjoy, but there is a constant feeling that you are living below your real capacity to feel alive. Version 2. You do not become a superhero. You just start noticing. You create small pauses. You redesign a few moments of your day. You bring your values back into the conversation. You still have problems. You still feel tired sometimes. You still get lost on your phone here and there. But slowly, you feel different. You have more moments of true presence. You remember actual pieces of your day. You feel a little more like the author of your life, not just the actor. This is the invitation of this video. Not to hate your autopilot, but to wake up enough to use it wisely. Let habits take care of the small stuff, while you decide the direction. Your life is not a rehearsal. This, right now, is the scene you are in. You are allowed to open your eyes, look around, touch the steering wheel, and gently turn it towards a life that feels a little more awake, a little more honest, a little more yours.